We'll check 1, 2. A little late getting the YouTube stream up, but welcome to the Athlete Institute in Mono, Ontario. Men's OSBA action. Fort Erie versus Orangeville Prep. Provincial coming up. So for those of you that tuned in the previous game, really good one. Fort Erie ends up kind of squeezing out Orangeville late, courtesy of 2 huge threes from Felix Caceres. And so I was a bit of rushed in between this game. I did a couple quick interviews. I'll stay quiet for the introductions. Well, there's your starters. Orangeville Prep, TJ St. Louis, the big 7-footer in the middle, Ilan Balde, number 0. You won't be able to read these silver numbers on Orangeville. Cassidy Garrick out there. Also got Demetrius Woodward, number 8, and the youngster Joel Campbell. So I didn't realize this. I thought Joel was like a grade 9 or 10. Larry Blunt had me up. This kid's in grade 8. And so I was like, oh, he's pretty good for a grade 10. For grade 8, he's unbelievable. So Campbell, the youngster, number 6 out there. Watch out for him. So starting for Fort Erie, Matt Dan, the big 7-footer as well in the middle. You'll hear that name a lot tonight. Bashir Ngala, ball in his hand. This dude's a stud. Henri Young, number 4. Chidube Ekwamato just announced his commitment to Fairleigh Dickinson. Ngala off on the first attempt. And number 10 also, Sader Servillis. I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. Any issues with sound? I can't see any of the YouTube stream comments, but any issues with sound, hit me up on Twitter at Mr. McKee. Over and back? What, really? What? So against Demetrius Woodward, right away, quick. So, or hit me up on my basketball Instagram, undrafted_FA. Any pronunciations I'm getting wrong, try to work through it. So Orangeville working it around, just checking the message, making sure sound and live stream looks pretty good right now. Orangeville working it. Campbell, and he's way off. Fort Erie back the other way, and looks like stepped out of bounds. So that happens a bunch of times. It's funny, we didn't have one in the last game. But usually every opponent that comes in here, opposing team, will step on the line. So Ekwamato, the first victim of that. 9 minutes to play, opening quarter. We're tied at 0. This game's anywhere close to the last one. Let's hope. Oh, Campbell just undressed. What are they calling? An illegal screen on TJ St. Louis. It looks like he just tripped over his own feet in Ngala. So thankfully, normally they do about a 20-minute warm-up. They shortened the warm-up just because I guess they don't want these Fort Erie boys getting back really late tonight. And there's Ekwamato off the mark. So you dropped that on there, and now there's all static in my ear. because you dropped the water bottle on that. So all I can, it's like it keeps staticking. Yeah. Check one out. Yeah, every time you move the camera now, they're static. And off. Ingala, way off. Both teams not very good to start the shooting off. We'll see St. Louis. No, it's static. Yeah. It's like someone's breathing in my ear. And two-handed dunk, Sader Servilis. That'll start things off tonight. Fort Erie, the visitors, break the schneid, 2-0. Servilis from Montreal, another one of those Brookwood elite players. And Ilan Balde way off Orangeville. Tough start. Got to settle down. It's such a young team. Ekwamadu, no good. Rebound St. Louis. So I can hear that static in my ear. Let me know if you guys can hear that out there. Again, hit me up on Twitter, TJ St. Louis, and he's fouled at Mr. McKee on Twitter or on my Instagram, undrafted_FA.
Fouls on 40 minutes that's his first team foul.
So it's almost like every time the camera moves, you can hear a little static. So it's okay for now, but every time you move it, we'll see. So St. Louis, 16-year-old from Brampton. Second generation Orangeville player. His older brother here, one of the earlier Orangeville teams, like 2015 or 16, I believe. And the big man, 2 for 2. That's what you want. 7-footers, you got to hit free throws. So it looks like that static kind of cleared up and we fixed it. Tied at 2. Matt Dan, this guy's got a lot of hype, offers from Oregon, and then TJ St. Louis denies him. Bunch of others in the mix for Matt Dan as well. First got to look at him at BioSteel Futures a couple of years ago. He's great size, 7 foot. He's a 2025, so his recruitment should pick up next season. Number 11, Nishan Singh out there, know him well. AI Orangeville player. And Fort Erie off the mark. Both teams an ugly start as far as shooting. Olivier Desjardins, number 1, also seeing his first minutes. He just missed that first go. He's got the light blue sneakers. So does Nishan Singh. A lot of these guys, 21 as well. That's Graham May. He's off the mark on his first go. Orangeville pushes it up. Woodward, no. So 6:05 to go. We're tied at 2. And a travel called on May. So we had such an outstanding game before. This one's kind of deflated the vibe a little bit. Hopefully we can get a big dunk, big 3, wake this gym up again because we're having a good night here up in the Orangeville area. A little bit warmer than it has been over the past couple days. It was freezing all the past week. I go running outside every day in it, and it was getting too nasty for me finally. And also my face is just so windburned, like beet red from the frost and the sun as well, because the only part of my body that is exposed. Matt Dan can't do it, swept away. TJ St. Louis, Cassidy Garrick defeat to Balde, and there's the lay-in. Ilan Balde, 4-2. And now a timeout on the floor. So Orangeville, looks like they're relaxing right now. Good ball movement. Everyone's sprinting up the floor. John Sidor, head coach, instructing the troops. I mean, it's such a challenging gig with all these kids are so young. Keep in mind, Orangeville comes in 0-15. Can they get off the schneid and get that first win in OSBA play? You know they want it. They don't want to go an entire season with that goose egg up there. And then Fort Erie comes in at 8-7, and you know they want to be above 500 for the season. Don't want to lose and go 8-8, as it kind of takes that a little sting off the year, I would say. So they're going to play United Scholastic next Wednesday. That's their opening round of the playoffs. That's going to be a tough matchup for them. USA, what's the guy? My guy Romel Russell, that point guard. I love that dude. Such a good player. Of course, they had the transfer from Orangeville, Ethan Brown, who's headed to Colgate there. And then they've got Josiah Francis, who is just special. He's going to be in the conversation for first team OSBA or second team. He's the young man headed to Fairleigh Dickinson. And so FDU coming up to Canada. They got Ekwamadu and Josiah as well from United Scholastic heading down to that guy. I mean, we had him up here. He had the best dunk I've seen in this gym in 7 years of calling the game, like mid-game. He did the Vince Carter 2000 between the legs 360 in a game. And then we watched that nonsense on Saturday in the slam dunk competition. Ingala drives. So Ingala, he's picking up some interest as well from schools south of the border. Keep seeing his name pop up on my Twitter timeline. Little scouts, coaches talking to him. I've been trying to get Wes Brown up here for the second quarter. See if he'll do a couple minutes with me. And Wes, such an amazing resource for knowing every single one of these kids and every detail about them. So 5:02 to go. Ingala gets the lead to 4-3. He's got a bandage on his left knee. I don't know what the injury situation is. So I did find out Ali Engen, so he's just dealing with a sickness. No injury, no nothing. That's why he wasn't in the first game. So thank God. I was worried. I realized, I'm like, hey, where's Ollie? Balde misses the floater. And Servillis back the other way, and he's got a full head of steam. He got away with an extra step, if you ask me, but alas, he's going to shoot some free throws. So Fort Erie, a pipeline for guys from Montreal. Of course, Fort Erie just across from the U.S. border. So I would imagine travel probably easier for those guys going to whatever destination in the U.S. because you just drive over the border, go to the Buffalo airport. So the shooter over the line, referee Vince Bull, just called him. His foot was over. I don't think I've ever seen that called. Hey, a rule's a rule, right? But yeah, these Fort Erie, I would imagine, probably flying out of Buffalo on those cheaper airlines. And these kids here flying out of Pearson, these huge lineups, and Fort Erie the way. We got Owen Campbell, number 25, for the first time tonight, ball in his hand. I just saw him for the first time on Thursday. And Orangeville again, tough shooting night to start. And Fort Erie back the other way. That's Nosa Lawani, excuse me, first hoop tonight. He just came off the bench. Lawani, he's a 2026 youngster. So it looks like Tristan Lewis. Shot clock winding down, stolen regardless. Lawani, back-to-back buckets. Nosa Lawani over top of the Orangeville defender. 7-4, 3:40 to go. Orangeville's got to hurry and get this ball over. Get it over. Yeah, he just went over and back. He just went over. They just got away with one. He stepped on the other side. Referee didn't notice it. So Orangeville catches a break. Campbell off. Rebound, Luca Cinda, number 2, also just into the game for Fort Erie. If you're just joining us, Fort Erie, black jerseys, red trim. Orangeville, white jerseys, black and silver trim. Balde. Woodward. And he's off. Man, no good. Orangeville. Campbell. No movement from Orangeville off the ball. You're not going to get baskets like that. Shot clock at 8, 7. Campbell with the floater, no good. Ripped away. Here comes Fort Erie. Lawani has already got a couple baskets off the bench. Young Jr., swish. Henri Young Jr. 10-4 Fort Erie. Orangeville, no response yet. And someone came flying through.
Fouls at Fort Erie is 0. Bashir Gala, that's his first. Second team foul. Into the game for Orangeville, number 2, Tristan Lewis, and number 3.
So Tristan Lewis in. Always love Tristan's hair. And then stolen, Matt Dan, the 7-footer. And here comes Fort Erie. Get your phones out, and Ekwamadu misses a wide open dunk. And Lewis Campbell, and he's ice cold. Missed his first 4 or 5 attempts. Keep shooting though. 1:30 to go. 10-4, the visitors Fort Erie. Corner 3, Young, and then ripped away. And Nishan Singh didn't fall for him. Well, there's Tristan Lewis for Orangeville. Sorry, just looking something down the other way. Under a minute to go. Ekwamadu's got to make up for that missed dunk. He's got to get his highlight reel back. And then on cue, Chidube Ekwamadu just blows by everyone. I mean, you can see his athleticism. He just glides through 2 quick steps. So long and athletic. We've got him listed at 6'6". And then denied, big block. Lewis with the shot clock, and then back-to-back blocks for Fort Erie, suffocating defense, and it's going to be a turnover as Orangeville has 2 consecutive shots blocked. 15.8 to go. The visitors out in front, 12-6. Well, Graham May back in, 21. Can you do something for me? Let's go. The kids will get that quote. I don't know if the parents will. Ngala from 3. Bang! Bashir Ngala. 15-6. And then Lewis, a heave at the end of the quarter. So at the end of 1, all Fort Erie, 15-6. Orangeville shooting. Tough to start. They got to start hitting some shots. I think they need to find simple shots. You know, everything's coming 3-pointers from range. Let's find something a little simple, a little mid-range, something around the free throw line, 6 to 10 feet. And Let's try to get something cooking. Well, I'm Chris McKee. Appreciate you tuning in. I'll check my phone, make sure everything's okay with sound. No complaints, so all is good. Well, big shout out to Lindsay Crouch, Chloe Collins' mom. She's watching on the live stream, and she's pumping my tires. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, good. Nothing in my personal Instagram. People end up in my personal Instagram, and I didn't try not to direct people to that. Oh, we got one here. Sound quality great on you. Thank you. So Kurt Peacock, Alex's dad. Appreciate that. All is good. So sound quality good. Now let's get some good shots popping, Orangeville. Let's get it going. Still in this game, just trailing 15-6. That's a good thing. As tough as a shooting first quarter you got, we're still in it. So let's roll. Let it go. You know, that's one thing I think, I'm not saying John's saying this to the kids, but so many coaches kind of want to, stress on the negative of the, we didn't do this, we didn't do this. Say, hey, man, let's look at the positive here, man. We didn't shoot well in the first quarter, and we're still in this game. A lot of hoops left. I talked about this during the first game. I watched Houston versus Iowa State NCAA last night. Iowa State in the first 10 minutes, which is the number 6 team in the country, only had 4 points in the first quarter. Now, that's because Houston's defense is probably the best I've ever seen from any college team, like ever in about 30 years. Campbell. And lost a handle on it. Matt Dan, the 7-footer, pushes it ahead to Ekwamadu, two-handed dunk. And there's the makeup. Chidube Ekwamadu, 17-6. So Kingston Clark out there for the first time tonight, ball in his hands, number 22. And he's off the mark. Also, Jordan Langley Thomas, love this guy's game, and he just missed on his first crack at it. And stolen. Here comes Orangeville. Roman Henry, number 15. Had Roman as my broadcast partner up in the booth a couple weeks ago. He's a grade 10. He did a great job. He was about it. He's got a future in broadcasting if he wants it. Gets his own rebounds. Orangeville reset. Langley Thomas, no. So the ice-cold shooting continues for Orangeville. And Ekwamadu says, let's slow it down. 17-6, 8:40 to go. Second quarter. Nishan Singh. The alley-oop, and Matt Dan can't get a handle on it. You know, I don't like that from Dan. He just missed it. It's like, okay, great. You didn't get the alley-oop. Don't put your head down and sulk. Get back on defense. Like, this is a guy that's got offers from Oregon. You want to play high major ball? That ain't going to cut it. So Dan, there's a guy a lot of people talking about. The kid that was playing hockey until a couple of years ago, then obviously a growth spurt, much like Zach Edey. Ain't too many 7-footers in hockey, so switch to hoops.
And number 11, Cassidy Garrett.
So Tristan Lewis at the line. Tristan had a good night the other night for Provincial, playing against their brother's school, the national squad. Good crowds in the gym, both the other Fort Erie teams sticking around. Orangeville, other men's and women's program sticking around. Of course, don't forget, tune in Monday night. I believe it's like 5:30 and 7:30. Lewis hits a couple free throws, 17-8. Both Orangeville's women's and the men's program in playoff action. Women versus Redmond, men versus Bill Crothers. I'll be on the call. Nishan Singh, Lawani. Sorry, that's Sader Servilis, number 10. Lawani I had mixed up, and there's Lawani right there. So forgive me, I had that wrong in the first quarter on one of the hoops. Apologies to Servillis. Here's Lawani at the line. Nosa, they got listed at 6'6", doesn't go. Henry leaves it for Cassidy Garrick. Garrick from the Hamilton area. Love the Hammer. I spent more time down in Hamilton this year than I have in a while. I was covering the Grey Cup down there, went to a bunch of parties during the week and media day, and then the Grey Cup itself, which was an absolute blast. Yeah, looks like that Woodward is messing around with it, bounced it off his heel, and it's out. Turnover. 19-8, 7:41 remains, second quarter. You know, I grew up playing football. I played in the CJFL, which is the level below the CFL. And so that was an honor for me to go cover the Grey Cup this year, first time, after watching it for, 40 years. And then to be there on the field level and celebrating in the huddle with the Montreal Alouettes was a buzz. There's Servillis. Yeah, no good. 19-8. All for Erie. I'd love to see Orangeville try to work TJ St. Louis into some opportunities underneath the hoop. Let's keep it simple. You got a 7-footer. Let him use that frame because you got Matt Dan on the bench. There's nobody really right now in Fort Erie that can hang with him size-wise, and so Orangeville's got to drop something to recognize and get the big man the ball. TJ's also that EYBL squad, which I got my first look at last week. Servillis, what a pass. Ngala, shot clock at 5, 4, 3, 2, and he shouldn't have kicked out. Ngala's got a that was way after the whistle, and they're going to give it Sader Servillis for 3. To me, that was way after the shot clock expired. So a gift for Fort Erie, 22-8. That was about a second and a half after. Alas, it's going to count. Let's not dwell. Kingston Clark, and he's mugged. It was Olivier Desjardins.
That's his first.
His first foul. No shooting foul. Orangeville wants a timeout. Of course, March Madness getting revved up. In the next couple of weeks, all the conference championships happening from the mid-majors right up to the big dogs. And I don't want to give too many of my picks away, but to me, it's one of those years where I don't see any team that hasn't really been around the top 10 this year getting an opportunity. Like, I don't know if we're going to have that run from St. Peter's like we had a couple years ago out of the Metro Atlantic Conference, or even Oral Roberts that made it to the Sweet 16 out of the Summit League. It's a big dog year. It's UConn, it's Houston, it's Kansas, it's Arizona. I'm not sold on Purdue. I mean, you get knocked out in the first round last year. What's to say it ain't going to happen again? And Purdue's looking like they're going to be the #1 overall seed. They are, as of right now, considered the #1 overall seed. But they were last year, and then they lost to FDU. And, of course, Chidube Ekwamadu, #5 on Fort Erie, headed to FDU. Talked to Josiah Francis about that. I'm like, did you watch that? He's like, oh, yeah. He goes, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to go there. So hopefully chat with Chidube after, see if it's the same. Woodward to Lewis, to St. Louis. And they must have heard me trying to get him the ball. Shot clock wanted down, get it up. Lewis 2-1. And no, that's not going to count. He got it after. So Orangeville doesn't get the same benefit of the doubt of shooting a second after the shot clock as Fort Erie does. But alas, it is what it is. So Ryerson, or excuse me, TMU coaches in the house. David Diavero. And Jeremy and a couple of his other assistants. I think it was Jay was the other one I met briefly. Always love seeing all the university coaches in the gym. You know the players always play a little harder when they see those logos on the jackets. Woodward to St. Louis, long jumper, and the big man off the back of the rim. Nice form, though. I want to see him shoot some more. And Servilis, no good. And looks like his nose is bleeding. He's got like a tissue in one of his nostrils, so that's got to be hard, you know, when you're breathing out of one nostril. But hey, love it. That tough guy mentality. Toronto Maple Leafs could use him. Never mind the Raptors, that horrible Raptors team. That's a bad basketball team, my goodness. And Tristan Lewis was traveling by car, boat, and plane on that one. That was an easy goal. 22-8, 5:40 to go, second quarter. Ilan Balde. And there's Joel Campbell, the youngster, back in. He's got the braided hair. Reminiscent of, oh, there's a travel. I was going to say O-Dog and Menace to Society. I don't know if they'll get that reference, but one of my favorite movies of all time. Not exactly a PG movie, but a classic, especially in hip-hop culture. It's one of the greatest soundtracks, movie soundtracks ever, Menace to Society. And, of course, a young Jada Pinkett Smith in it. And here's Campbell weaving. Pull-up jump shot, and too strong. And Campbell almost ripped it away. Fort Erie's got a 3-on-1. And Servilis cleans up the mess. Sader Servilis, 24-8, all Fort Erie in the opening half. Pushed ahead, St. Louis, ooh, and tipped away by Lawani. It's still going to be, how is that not Orangeville ball? Oh, they're saying St. Louis got a finger on it, so another unfortunate break. So Matt Dan back in. Well, Singh picked up his dribble. Ekwamadu. And over top, man, that was sweet. Used like the top portion of the backboard. Chidube Ekwamadu. Wow, that's a unique wrinkle. This dude's got game. And stolen, Nishan Singh. I thought he would have went off the backboard for Ekwamadu. Sorry, excuse me, that's Luke Sinda. Well, that was Sinda with that lay-in, forgive me. Oh, and off the backboard, Dan smacks it, but Ilan Balde. So I just saw the braids and I thought, like, nope. Singh, and what are they calling? It was something underneath the hoop, and it looks like Matt Dan and St. Louis, the two 7-footers, going at it. You know, whenever I tell people I do commentating for high school ball, they think, you know, it's always like their high school where the kids are 6'3". I'm like, no, they're 7-foot dudes. And there's two of them on the floor right now. Ilan Balde, too much. Nishan Singh comes away with it. Henry Young Jr., Henry Young Jr. for three, 31-10. You know, I used to watch Cheers years ago, the old comedy, and Woody Harrelson's nemesis was a guy named Henri. And Henri Young, the nemesis of Orangeville Prep tonight, hitting a couple big threes. He's got nice range. Campbell, fade away, and then blocked. That's Luca Sinda. Sing the other way to Dan. And I don't think Dan needed the dribble. He could have just caught it, and that's ripped away by Woodward. Balde, why not? No good, and tipped a couple cracks at it for St. Louis, and it doesn't fall. 21-point lead, Fort Erie. It's in their playoff game Wednesday against United Scholastic, so number one goal for them, get out of here healthy. Matt Dan has that ripped away. Cassidy Garrick. You don't want 7-footers dribbling. Catch it and put it up, or get rid of it. Woodward, corner three, and it's just not Orangeville's night. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the opening half. Sinda in the corner, swish. Luca Sinda. All Fort Erie, 34-10. Five, 4, and set up for St. Louis. Fade away, no good. Nishan Singh, easy lay-in for Nishan. 36-10. Fort Erie rolling. Woodward. And stolen. Bashir Ngala. And one, no, it doesn't fall for him, went in. It's like Campbell. That's a good foul, though. You got a 3-on-1. Foul him harder, though. So you don't hurt him, but that's one thing I don't like sometimes at a high school level. It's too, I mean, these kids all know each other, they play AAU, but foul him harder, man. Let him know. You're down 26. It's a 3-on-1. Let's wake something up. It's a good way to change the tempo of a game. And time it on the floor. We'll appreciate you guys tuning in. Of course, OSBA playoffs coming up. Drop a follow on their Instagram, Ontario SBA, and their Twitter. Stay up to date on all things OSBA. And this is the time of the year you want to do it because, you know, all the OSBA, you know, Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, first and second team All-Stars, the All-Academics, all that's coming out. And, of course, all the information on playoffs, who's playing where. You got an off night, you want to check out a live stream or go check out one of the gyms in person. Go do it. You won't be disappointed. I mentioned during the first broadcast, I'm going to head down, check out some OUA playoffs tomorrow. TMU, I still call them Ryerson, versus McMaster, 8 p.m. down at Mattamy. And Ngala at the line. He's also played with Chris Boucher Elite, as well as UPlay Canada. One offer I found was NJIT. I think he's picked up a couple others since then. Let me check his Instagram quick. Can't find his Instagram. So Cervelis back in. He's had a good first half. All Fort Erie leading by 28. And almost stolen. Campbell almost had his pocket picked. You know, seeing these youngsters in the OSBA now between Campbell, who I think is like a 2042. Who is, you know, anytime you hear like 27, 28, 29, you're like, oh my God. But yeah, he's got a lot of high school hoops left. That kid Javion Tyndale over on Royal Crown's a youngster, and he's unbelievable. Has no fear playing against guys 4 or 5 years older than him. Campbell the same. Woodward, another youngster. No good. Henri Young. So we're under the last minute here. Graham May, ball in his hands. Almost, and he did have his pocket picked. Stolen by Campbell. Joel, and then dribbled the ball too high, ripped away. Graham May does the same thing back the other way. And it's still going to be Fort Erie ball with 29.7 to go. We got Josh Milligan in the booth, so it looks like West Brown's bounced. So I'll try to get Josh up to see if he'll do maybe a quarter with me. Henri Young, Sink, directing traffic. 10 seconds on the shot clock. And Henri Young raining threes. This guy's having a night. And it's a pure stroke. Like this guy, it's textbook. Think of beauty to watch Henri Young shoot threes. 31-point lead. And in Orangeville just messing around with it. You want to sum up what their first half was. That last possession is a microcosm. So at the end of one half, Fort Erie 41, Orangeville 10. I'm Chris McKee. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. Yeah, a little. So, Josh, do me a favor. Try not to touch any of those wires, because it's like, yeah, it's making it a little staticky. Jump in and give me a little check 1, 2.
Check, check, check.
Turn the mic the other way around. There we go.
Check, check, check.
There we go. We're good. All right. Well, Chris McKee with Josh Milligan, the Maple Minutes.
Appreciate you having me, Chris. Thanks a lot, man.
Awesome, man. Hey, so get this down a bit. So, Fort Erie 41-10 lead. It's coming from all angles. Orangeville Prep, tough shooting night. And here's Matt Dan. We'll get into it in just a minute here, kind of. So, Josh, obviously, one of the most renowned scouts here in Canada. He knows a lot about these kids that many of us don't. Been traveling all over the U.S., so we'll get into that over the next little bit. So Matt Dan, here's the kid, obviously got interest from Oregon. Who else is on his radar right now?
I think he's got a full-on offer from Oregon.
Yeah?
That's what I heard, yeah. And like, he's got great size. Like, sticks out like a sore thumb out here, but I do think that TJ St. Louis on Orangeville's been doing a good job defending him tonight. Giving him a little bit of a problem down low. It's got a good size to match up with him, and Matt Dan doesn't usually see that kind of size.
So I was too busy getting Josh's mic and headset set up. I didn't see why Elon Balde was shooting a technical, but alas he was. And
I missed that too.
Yeah, I was too busy getting your headset rolling. So 41-11. If you're Orangeville, let's just throw everything in the kitchen sink at them. Start shooting. Stop thinking too hard about it, and let's get some things popping. There's Joel Campbell. This kid's in grade 8. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, it's their second game tonight too. They played earlier on.
They did the juniors?
The juniors. Some of these mixed in with the junior team. Yeah, so.
That's crazy. Well, stolen by Fort Erie. Servilis to Sinda, and off the glass, Luca Sinda. Like this kid's game, I don't have any information in the game prep. Any info on Sinda?
Yeah, Dream Canada basketball. He's an Ottawa kid. I saw him down, can't remember where I actually saw him, but I see a ton of highlights on him. He's long, handles the ball pretty well. I think he's got another 2 years to go. Pretty sure he's 25, so.
Well, St. Louis with a turnaround jump shot. I like that from TJ. Big man, he can shoot if it's just got to get the confidence and just keep letting him shoot.
You must have seen St. Louis's brother a fair bit, eh?
Well, that was before me, but I know because he was here, 2015 or 16?
Yeah.
A little bit before me, yeah. Yeah, he was down at Canisius.
Yeah, Dante.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good for these Orangeville young guys here getting to play against like possibly 5 or 6 D1 kids here on Fort Erie. Like everyone says, it's like not a 2 team, but it's like they're the other team because everyone looks at the Fort Erie team, the main team, as being so loaded. But this team itself has we got an FDU commit sitting on the bench right now. We got number 0 here, Bashir's got interest from the SEC. He's got Richmond. He's got all kinds of looks. Sadler's great. Matt Dan with the Oregon nod. Henry Young, kid from Ohio there, number 4, who's shooting the ball pretty good tonight.
So he is from Ohio because
Yes,
I made
sir.
notes. I'm like, is he like? I have a question mark from Ohio on my notes.
Yes, sir, from Ohio, yeah. So I saw him down in Fort Erie for the Battle of the Fort. He played really well down there. Nice block.
Matt Dan just Owen Campbell there, a 7-footer, doing what he's supposed to do.
Exactly.
43-11, 8:13 to go. Chris McKee with Josh Milligan, the Maple Minute. Of course, don't forget, drop Josh a follow on IG as Cassidy Garrick has that shot interrupted by Young, and here comes Fort Erie. Young's been raining threes tonight.
Yeah, he lets it fly.
Ngala off. Rebound Balde.
Yeah, I do like Joel Campbell a lot, especially for his age. Like you said, the 8th grade, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I thought he was a grade 9 or 10. Then I had Larry Blunt join me for the game on Thursday.
Oh, nice.
And
What a
he was
treat.
like, no, he's in grade 8. There's Elon Balde, corner 3. Love this guy's game. And here, yeah, try not to touch anything to do with that there. So we're getting new equipment for All Canadian Week. And so hopefully some of this will
Should be a great week,
yeah.
eh?
So any idea when we're getting announcements on that?
Yeah, I believe it should be this week. We should have our final 24 coming out. I know we were narrowing it down to 36. I think it was either yesterday or this morning. Had a meeting last night with a bunch of the guys talking about players, just narrowing down the picks and stuff like that. And should be a hell of a game. Excuse my language, but a heck of a game.
Yeah. Well, Matt Dan with a lay-in there for Fort Erie pushes the lead to 45-14. And these wires are...
Yeah, I don't know if it's my jacket.
Yeah, no, it's not you.
This guy here is pretty good. What number?
Balde, Ilan Balde.
Yeah.
So he's a youngster. I think he's a 27. Let me check. 26 or 27.
Super long.
Yeah. So all Fort Erie tonight. That first game, did you catch any of the first game, or did you get here a little late?
I saw the first game against the junior boys team. I didn't see
you
the
didn't see, oh,
the
man,
main
you
team.
missed the scorcher. It was a
heard it
great
was a
game,
great
back and
game.
forth. Most entertaining game we've had in the gym here.
I heard Caden Stuckey had a heck of a game.
Yeah,
Shooting the
unbelievable.
ball well, too, I
Oh,
heard.
he was all man tonight. I want to get an interview with him. I
Yeah.
don't know if hopefully he's still floating around. I got a couple of Fort Erie guys. Spoke to Ishan Sharma about his commitment to
saw that.
Virginia because I haven't spoken to Ish since he made that commitment, so I wanted to get him on camera.
Yeah,
And then
how'd that
also Jihad El Khatib, who's this guy is just like, he looks like he's 26. You know
Yeah,
what I
I know
mean?
he does.
He's like
He's got a
that
grown body.
prototypical Euro player, just outstanding. And that's another guy I think, at the college level could probably play all 5 positions.
Yeah, if you go small ball 5, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
If you wanted him to, he could rebound well. He's got good size. He's got a George Mason offer. I hate to say it in Orangeville, but he torched Orangeville earlier on in the year. Like he's really good.
Fort Erie beat them by about 50 or 60
Yeah, right at the start
back
of
in
the year.
November, yeah. And obviously, completely different team since then. But I think, keep in mind also Orangeville tonight, they were without Ollie Engen, starting point guard.
Where was he?
Just flu, sickness.
Oh,
Yeah.
couldn't do the flu game, eh?
No, I must be bad. It's going around. My son's got it as well, and
sir,
so
yeah.
there are all these
My son as
university
well.
kids. They were all probably at the same, university party or
There
something.
you go, yeah.
Now my son's home for reading week, and he comes home sick. I'm like, you better not get me sick.
Yeah, no kidding.
Desjardins and Ingala, a clever play, just threw it off one of the Orangeville guys, and it's still going to be Fort Erie ball. So, Josh, you're on the All-Canadian committee.
Yes, sir.
So who's all on the committee?
There's a handful of scouts. Joe from MPH, Wes Brown, John Soch, Joe Sway from On Point, and then a handful of coaches. I think Gus is a committee chair, Dwayne Washington, Larry Blunt, Sonny Such, Joey McKittrick, a lot of guys. I think there's probably 11 or 12 of us, Chris. So a fair bit of guys on that committee. Trying to narrow down the top 24 players in Canada. It's a tough task, man.
No doubt. Trying to narrow down the top 100 is enough. Never mind top 24.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So 5:34 to go, third quarter. All Fort Erie, St. Louis. Here's a big matchup. 2 7-footers and
Good
kick
find.
out. Garrick. And, Garrick drove, looked up and saw the 7-footer and went, nah, I better not.
Late pass, too, yeah.
And Gala saves that. And he's fouled Bashir. Looks like he's going to shoot some free throws.
I'm a big fan of Bashir, man. I think he's going to be a heck of a player at the next level.
So, Josh, if people want to find your scouting information, what is it, the Maple Minute on Instagram?
Yeah, Maple Minute on Instagram, Maple Minute on the Maple Minute on Twitter. You can go to our website, themapleminute.com. We got articles coming out all the time. We got 22 scouts now, 7 provinces. We're really trying to just scour the gyms and open up doors for kids to the next level, whether that be at the CCAA level or the NCAA level. We're not discriminating against anybody. We just want to see guys play college basketball at the end of the day, and whatever level that is. So we're constantly looking at all levels of talent, prep school to high school, grassroots. Yeah, so mapleminute.com, the Maple Minute on Twitter and Instagram. I don't think we're on TikTok yet.
I don't do TikTok.
No, not yet.
I don't want the Chinese government knowing everything about
That's
my
it.
life. I'd prefer just the Canadian government to know what I'm doing, like they do on Instagram and Facebook.
They do. Yeah, they control the whole thing.
We can't see news. I'll spare my political opinions for the
We'll chat later, yeah.
That's why I tell people don't follow my personal Instagram. So
It's a good follow-up.
Just over 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Fort Erie cruising 47-16. We got Alex Peacock out there for the first time tonight, the big man in white.
I like Alex, man. He's got to shed a little bit of the baby fat, but he's going to be a player. I mean, he's got soft touch, works hard. I like his IQ as well. Get to see him play a lot in the AIBL down in the Fieldhouse there. Sorry, not the Fieldhouse, but the Dome. So you get to see the younger guys play a lot, and he's got some skills, man.
You know, look, I never want to steer anyone away from what they. I think he should be playing football as well.
Yeah. No.
Guy that big, that moves that well, you know.
And what would you put him at? Like a lineman or a
Yeah,
tight
D
end?
lineman,
Yeah.
O lineman, and let him, you know, run ruck. Especially D lineman, a guy that moves that well.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I'm telling you.
There's a guy out in Alberta. His name's Everson Harker. He's committed to I think it's Idaho State for football. Kid could, like, he's just scratching the top 50 in Canada basketball-wise too. Like, he's really good, and he's a D1 commit for football, tight end. But I think he could play D1 basketball at the same time. His brother's Boston Harker, but I think he plays at JUCO or D2.
Nice.
But
Well,
heck of a player.
51-16, 3:52 to go. Speaking of that, I always talk about it on the broadcast. We have Dyson Frank, who played here at Orangeville. Ended up playing at Pace University D2 in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Then said, I want to play football. Played a year of JUCO football. Now plays tight end for the Nevada Wolfpack.
Good for him.
Yeah.
What a journey. That's incredible.
And then also another guy, Paris Shand, used to play at Bill Carruthers. He was on the same team as Steph
familiar.
Smith and Emmanuel
Yep.
Miller.
Okay, yeah.
And then went to Arizona as a football player and was an all-star. He played last season at LSU, and he's going to get a look. And, you know, you play D-line at LSU.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
So he's going to get a look at playing in the NFL this year. I don't know if he's going to get drafted, maybe a late-round pick, or at worst, a free agent guy. He's certainly, you know, he's got some interest in him. And then, you know, at worst, a guy like that can come home and play in the CFL.
100%.
He'd be a first-round CFL pick
For
with
sure,
ease.
yeah.
And so, yeah, another guy that played.
That's
And
incredible.
he was a good hooper, too. He could have played Division I hoops,
I
no
remember
problem.
him, yeah. Bill
What
Carruthers.
he went the other way. You know, when you talk about, hey, maybe shed a few pounds, he said, I'm going to put on a few pounds
Yeah, nothing
to
wrong
play
with
more
that either.
football. Servilis off on that three. 51-16. 3:23 to go.
The key is not to get bad habits here when you're down like this. It's tough. You just got to keep doing the right thing despite being down close to 34 points, 35 points.
Campbell. And gets it right back. And Roman Henry off the mark. And he's out of bounds. I can see that, yeah. So Graham May not watching his feet. We see it 100 times every game. So what's your drink of choice there, Jack? What do you got going on?
Just a sparkling water here. Just got the grapefruit.
What is it?
Montelier.
Montelier, okay.
Yeah, Walmart or something like that.
I got to go coffee every time. Keep the voice.
Yeah, no, I had a coffee before sitting down and was doing some filming, so I wanted to drink that coffee quick and put it down. What do you got, regular, black? What are you drinking?
I'm one cream.
Nice.
I used to be a double-double guy.
Classy move.
Went down to one sugar, now to no sugar. And I want to get rid of that cream, but I just need a little, you know, because dairy's not good for your throat.
No, for sure.
And so I learned that from Howard Stern. He always used to talk about, he's like, black coffee, that's, if you're going to be on radio, talk a lot, that's the best for you. Because there's no calories in black coffee.
Yeah.
And it's good for the, you know, for your speaking voice.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So time it on the floor. All four at Erie, 51-16. Chris McKee with Josh Milligan. So who's on some of your top 10 guys in the maybe, you know what, we all know who the top 10 guys are, but maybe top 10 under the radar guys. I'm a big believer that J.C. Brooks might be the most underrated player in the country.
Yeah.
Who are some of your guys that are a little under the radar?
Oh, the guy that comes to mind right off the top of my head is Syed. He's out at WCPA. He's like a 6'5", two-way guard. I think he could be one of the best defenders in the class. He picks up 94 feet for 48 minutes if you need him to. Jumps through the roof, can shoot the ball pretty well. Great mid-range pull-up. I think if you saw him in person, Chris, you'd really like his game, just knowing how you evaluate guys. And he's definitely a guy on my radar.
What program's he at again?
WCPA, Western Canada
Prep.
Prep
Oh,
Acad-
yeah, that's
Prep
right. Yeah,
Academy,
okay, yeah. That's a good program. I've
Yeah.
seen you posting a couple guys
I
from
really
that
like,
school.
yeah, Hudson Ward there. But another guy that's under the radar is Ramogi Nagati. He's down at DME Academy in St. John's. He's a Canada elite kid. He's like 6'8", moves moves really, really well, shoots the ball pretty well. Another guy that's under the radar, Stefan Osei down at NBA Academy. People kind of forget about the guys that go stateside. He was at Real Salt Lake, but yeah, he's a heck of a player as well. 6'11", can really play, man.
See, I'm a little bit OSBA exclusive when it comes to the high school kids. You know, these are the games I call, and that's just kind of what I see. I don't get the chance to go out see some of the other leagues like you do. So
Yeah.
that's why my scouting is a little bit one-sided. You know. Yeah.
That's how it goes, right? That's a good thing about the YouTube these days and stuff like that. Guys like Mix Six and stuff like that get to they film a ton of games, so you get to stay home and kind of watch a lot of stuff. Like I'll go back home and watch.
I don't like those dudes because they do my games and then don't use my play-by-play. So
fair.
we ain't plugging them.
Yeah. Scratch that out.
I'm always like, something wrong with my voice,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
No, they do. It's good video and that.
Another guy that's under the radar, Tyrus Rathan Mays. You probably know Shamar's little brother.
Yeah.
He's down in the States. He's got about 7 or 8 D1 offers.
He's young, though. He's like.
He's 2025.
Is he really? Yeah, I thought he was a little younger than that.
I thought he was 2026 as well.
Yeah.
He's a big-time sleeper.
Well, we got to get him back up here to Canada at Orangeville where he should be then.
There you go, yeah. It's only right.
We need another Rattan Mays here. Shamar, make it happen.
There you go.
Shamar, of course, at UNC Wilmington. Jordan Langley Thomas off Peacock and has that ripped away by Singh. Nishan Singh, another guy that used to be up here at the Athlete Institute.
Oh, yeah?
Now at Fort Erie.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Graham May, big 3. So May of 2026. 54-16, 132 to go. Orangeville, put up some shots, guys. Stop messing about.
Seriously.
Floater from Tristan Lewis. So I've been chatting a little March Madness. How where are you kind of checking out NCAA hoops? Have you been keeping up of late?
Yeah, keeping up with a fair bit. Listen to a lot of podcasts, kind of recapping the night. Some gambling podcasts, but I get to use it for the content of the recaps of the games. But I'm actually going to March Madness at the Sweet 16 in Detroit, Elite 8.
Oh, sweet.
So, yeah, me, my dad, my brother are going to go down there to that.
Nice.
Same time as BioSteel, but what can you do? I can't miss March Madness.
Yeah, that's why.
Man.
Yeah. Hey, no. It's. Have you ever been before?
No, it'll be my first time.
Yeah, it's a bucket list. I went. I got to cover it 2017, so I had a media credentials, and
Nice.
so it was a dream of a lifetime. That was when I was in Buffalo.
Oh, nice.
And literally greatest 3 days of my
I
life.
bet. I'm really looking forward to it.
Never mind the scouting. I had drinks with Vern Lundquist, the great, the guy calling the games, as well as Ali LaForce, who, for those familiar that watch the NBA dunk, the beautiful blonde host that was hosting, that's Ali LaForce.
How'd you swing that?
So obviously they're doing CBS there. I got media credentials, so I saw them around. I was literally sitting 3 or 4 seats down from Vern all week.
Okay.
And so you kind of see, I'd seen Ali and said hello in the media where we're kind of getting food. So they just saw my face. And so it turns out, we were staying in the same hotel. One of my best friends who I grew up with in Scarborough lives in New York City. He came and met me in Buffalo. And we had a few drinks, and then we both kind of retreated back to our hotels. And I went to the hotel lobby. I'm like, I need one more. And I could just hear there was a vibe in the hotel. I'm like, let's see what's going on. I walk in. There's Ali LaForce and Vern Lundquist sitting at the table. So I asked the bartender, what's Vern drinking? They said scotch. I said, it's not like one of those $80 scotches. He said, no, it's about $20. I said, send him over one for me.
Nice.
So
move,
I
Chris.
sent it over.
Classy.
Yeah. And so Ali LaForce comes walking over, and Ali's stunning. She was Miss Teen USA, and she's beautiful. And she says, are you the guy that bought Vern a drink? I said, yeah. She goes, want to say thank you because we all wanted another drink. Vern said no, and it's on him. Now that he's got another drink, we're getting another drink. Why don't you come over and join us?
Wow.
And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So it was weird, and also it was kind of fitting because Ali, she's like, where you from Toronto. Her husband, Joe Smith, plays Major League Baseball. The week before that March Madness, he had just been traded to the Toronto Blue Jays. She's like, I'm moving to Toronto. She's like, so Ali's picking my brain about Toronto. Where do I eat? Where do we stay?
Nice,
And I was like, yeah. And so then I'm talking to Vern about, he wanted to talk more golf because he's the guy that called the Tiger Woods Masters in your life call, in your life.
Yeah.
And because I work in golf too, we were chatting a little golf and stuff
Big
as
time,
well.
yeah.
So it was literally one of the greatest things ever.
No kidding. Sounds incredible.
Got to interview Jay Wright. This was Villanova had won the national championship the year before, lost in round 2 to Wisconsin that year, but still got to chat with Jay Wright. And
What was that interview like?
follow him around. I mean, the guy is as cool of cute, just smooth as silk. I interviewed after they beat Mount St. Mary's in round 1 because they were the 1 seed, beat the 16. Interviewed him then. And then got to follow him around a bit, and it was a real buzz to watch him because this guy, $5,000 suits. Even after he lost, I didn't see a bead of sweat from him. No attitude, no nothing, just CEO, professional.
Yeah.
It was the same demeanor as if he'd won. No sulking, no nothing.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, this dude. I'm like, if this guy walks in my living room, my son's playing for him. You know,
Yeah,
like it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
no hands down. And also, the Philadelphia media was there, so pretty big swarm. So he's got like 10 TV stations and radio stations following him around. So he did the main March Madness pressers. Then he had a separate scrum with all the Philadelphia media.
Wow.
Knew every single one of them by name. 12 people in the scrum. Jane, Bob, Mike, go ahead. Knew all of them by name.
It's a
Taking
relationship
questions.
game, eh?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I was just like, this guy knows every single one of them. You know what I mean? That's why he was kind of looking at me like, I don't know you. You know, like.
Yeah. That's cool though, Chris, man.
Well, that was a buzz.
You already got a ton of those stories, eh?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. That was a real highlight. So yeah, hopefully you'll have the same. Now, I mean, Buffalo, Detroit, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right?
Yeah, that's it. You never guessed who I saw the other day at Tim Hortons though?
Who?
Ben Matherin.
Oh no way.
Same day he was playing the Raptors, he was injured, but he was down there getting a coffee.
Which Tim Hortons?
Tim Hortons downtown Toronto, like Adelaide and
right downtown.
Adelaide and not Peter,
Peter, yeah.
Pearl Street, Adelaide
Okay.
and Pearl, I think, somewhere around there. But like a couple months before, I saw, what's his name, Eric Spoelstra,
Yeah.
sitting down there. And I
Spo,
saw Ben
yeah,
Matherin.
yeah.
So it's just like crazy who you're going to run into. Like, you never know, right?
Well, Detroit, that'll probably be a little easy. You'll see everyone because it's so much more encapsulated. It's not like downtown Toronto. Detroit's a little smaller than that.
Yeah.
There's Ingala as the clock expires to end the third quarter. So all Fort Erie, 54-18. It's also NCAA story time with Chris McKee and Josh Milliken, the Maple Minute. Of course, check me out on Instagram, undrafted_FA.
Oh, yeah.
Got a couple interviews tonight. I'm hoping Caden Stuckey is somewhere around here so I can talk to him.
So I'm talking to TMU coaches earlier.
I did see that. I didn't want to put him on blast, though.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
Any coaches that's talking to him is good, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's
So I'm
fine.
going down tomorrow. Jeremy invited me down. He's like, why don't you come to
Nice.
my games? And I said, literally, I just made a note to myself yesterday, go watch OUA playoffs. He goes, what are you doing tomorrow night at 8? I said, nothing. He says, I got you, courtside. So
Who are they
come on
playing?
down.
Ontario Tech?
McMaster.
McMaster.
So I'll go down.
That would
So
be good, man. That
I
would be a lot of fun.
told the story during the first game. My son, he's on the soccer team at Algoma. He was working the camera for the game where Algoma upset TMU up in Sault Ste. Marie.
He does camera, curling, soccer.
Yeah,
everything,
well, he
man.
gets paid to do the camera.
Yeah,
So that's
cool, yeah.
he's done some high school games play-by-play because there's a thing called SiouxSports.com. They do a great job of covering all the local sports, and they do the Algoma
Nice.
University basketball and soccer and stuff. So my son's done some high school basketball play-by-play.
Sick.
But for the university, they have other guys. He just does the camera for the games. But
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, eh?
that's it, yeah.
I love that.
He's not as good as me, though.
Not yet. Not yet, Chris. We'll see, man.
Nah, he's never.
You still
I
got
was
some
always,
time.
well, keep in mind, I worked in the music business for 20 years
Oh,
as an
yeah.
agent. I mean, no one's more, slimier and talkier. Like, man, as an agent, I could talk to you, I could steal your watch, and you don't even notice while I'm looking you in the eye. So
Yeah, you're a smooth operator for sure, Chris.
I used to be, not so much.
No, I think you are, man.
That's agents, man. No one ever trusts them, right? You've heard 100 rap songs where they're like, "Hey, watch out for these industry guys."
Yeah.
And the agents are those dudes. So
Big difference between an agent and a manager, then, or what?
yes. So
Huge, eh?
yeah. So an agent's job is to strictly just book concert
Okay.
concert dates. So agent just does your tour. So an agent mostly works off 10% commission. So if you're playing for free, go to the manager. Don't go through me because I'm the agent. Whereas the manager does everything. So the manager will sign the band from nothing, help find them a record deal, help find them an agent.
Book
so
all their buses, everything.
yeah, travel, all that would
Yeah.
be done by the manager. Or even like, let's say, Eminem and Rihanna want to do a feature together. Well, the managers would arrange that, not the agents, because there's no concert dates involved.
True. Uh-oh.
Matt Dan, two-handed dunk.
There he goes.
The big 7-footer showing why Oregon's already put their name up for this guy. Put their name in, 56-18, 9:30 to go, fourth quarter. Lewis doesn't fall, rebound Henri Young. Oh, stolen by Lewis.
It's a great experience for these young Orangeville guys, man. That's all you can really chalk this game up to.
Lewis can play. He's shown some good flashes all season.
Oh, yeah, these guys can play, but they're playing against guys that are 3 years older than them.
And on cue, Tristan Lewis. Ooh, and then he's calling goaltend, and I think he's got an argument.
There's your boy walking down here.
Oh, there's Caden Stuckey. Good. I got to grab him after. Yeah. Jordan Langley Thomas. Love this guy's game. I say he shot out of a cannon. He's just
Yeah.
like, he's like a 3 sugar coffee.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a good point. Yeah, he is electric. Nice find.
Corner 3 off the mark, Matt Dan, and on cue, the 7-footer over top of everyone, easy lay-in. 58-18.
They got TJ coming back in now to match up.
8:15 to go, fourth quarter, all Fort Erie. So Fort Erie, obviously more than likely here with a 40-point lead, going to move to 9-7. They're going to face United Scholastic in the playoffs on Wednesday. Langley Thomas from the free throw line, and it falls. And Orangeville headed for an undefeated season. Going to join the likes of the Detroit Lions going 0-16. Yeah. Ingala.
Nice pass. Nice look.
Servilis.
Good hustle.
Matt Dan again, and one. No, they're not. They're going to call it travel. So finally something goes the way of Orangeville.
Yeah.
58-20. You know, it's funny. You know, Josh, Wu-Tang guy, and I always say I'm kind of Wu-Tanged out. Tonight on my drive up here, I went all Wu-Tang along Highway 9. I was just caught a vibe. I was like, well, I started with Redman.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not Wu-Tang, but him and Method Man. And I was listening to couple Redman songs, which led me to Method Man, which led me to some Raekwon songs, which led me to some Ghost. I went in this Wu-Tang tunnel on the way up.
Man.
So,
how long is that commute for you?
On a good day, it's 90 minutes. Usually it's about 2 hours on the way up. Now, on the way up, it was 3 hours on that snowstorm last week. I got here like 2 minutes before tip-off last, what was it, Tuesday or Thursday?
Yeah, it wasn't a mess last Tuesday.
Yeah, it took me forever. And but normally, I would say just below 2 hours. Now, when the drive back, an hour and 15.
Yeah.
That's because I'm doing 140 on the 400 on the way down. Yeah.
There you go. Can't talk politics, but we can talk.
Hopefully, there's no OVP officers
tuning in.
Yeah. Well, I know there's the kid Dongelman. There's the kid. I forget which team he's on, and then his sister's on King's Christian. Their dad's an OVP officer.
All right on.
Former basketball player. Kingston Clark off the mark, and that's Henri Young again. He's had a great night tonight, both ends of the floor. And then on cue, bang, Henri Young. No announcer's jinx there.
Yeah.
61-20. Do you ever watch the TV show Cheers?
Cheers, yeah, I've seen it a few times.
It was the old 90s show and 80s, 90s show.
Where
and there was
everybody knows your name, right?
That's right. And Woody Harrelson had a wife, Kelly,
Harrelson.
and there was this French guy, Henri, that was like in love with Woody's wife. And he'd always say, I'm going to steal your girlfriend, Woody. And he'd constantly tease him. So every time he hits a three, I'm constantly want to say, I'm going to steal your girlfriend. But I don't think any of the kids will get the reference. Yeah. If I was doing a CBS or ESPN game, I'd drop it.
Nice. You Seinfeld guy or no?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love Seinfeld.
Religious, yeah. Sing. Yeah, and there's Matt Dan, little hook shot. 63-20. Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny? I don't watch a lot of new shows. I still watch, I PVR Seinfeld reruns to have for any time I watch. I was watching one this afternoon while I finishing my workout at home.
Nice. That's a classic show. I saw Jerry Seinfeld in Toronto do stand-up. It was unbelievable.
Oh, no way.
Incredible.
Where was that at?
It was down the Sony Center.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, what a venue. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
Man.
that's the kind of venue you want to see. The acoustics in there.
I've seen him, Adam Sandler, and Bill Burr, and they were some of the best shows I've seen over concerts.
I went to the opera at the Sony Center many years ago.
How was that?
Oh, great. And there's Tristan Lewis.
Beautiful shot.
So for any opera fans out there or any young people that want to go check out the opera, so the Canadian Opera Company, anybody under 30 can get tickets for $20 because they want young people to go.
Yeah.
So that's why when I was under 30, I used to go to the opera all the time because it was cheaper. And there's a corner three. No, they're not calling it, waving it off. I think he was out of bounds.
30 and under or under 30?
30 and under.
Okay, I'm still good for a little bit.
Yeah, so if you can go by, take the wife down.
There we go, yeah.
And even the person you take doesn't have to be under 30. So if you get,
So she can take me for a few years, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So go check. Trust me, it's a buzz. You got to go check it out.
I think it'd be cool, yeah.
I've been to a bunch of operas. Great. And that's it. Nice night out with the lady.
Mm-hmm. I saw Sound of Music when I was younger. That was a pretty good play. Different from the opera. But
the opera's so much more serious.
I bet.
I've been to those kind of Disney musicals, and it's fun and whatever, but it's like intense, the opera.
Disney on Ice?
That
is a rush.
Is it? Yeah. You know what's funny? I avoided that. My mom took my son when he was really young because I'm like, I'm not going to watch Disney on Ice. Yeah.
We got it for my boys for Christmas. It was last year. I was in Rhode Island. I had to leave the trip early to make it home for Disney on Ice.
And how old are your kids again?
6 and 4.
Yeah, that's the Disney on Ice stage.
Great time now.
Shot clock winding down here. Lewis, get it up, man. 2-1. Off balance, and it doesn't go. And here's Nishan Singh down the other end.
He gets downhill pretty quick, eh?
Yeah, he's a good player. He can shoot threes, good athlete.
Yeah, really good athlete.
66-22. 4:48 remains.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's it, yeah.
First team foul at the line for Fort Erie is number 1 over ABA Desjardins.
So yeah, one of the things when you go to the opera though, they're in different languages. Like I've seen 2 in Italian, 1 in Russian, 1 in Latin.
Jeez,
But they have
opera fanatic.
Yeah,
right?
they have translations over the top though, so you can kind of know. But sometimes you don't even want to. You just want to feel what's going on.
Yeah, it's like watching Narcos with the subtitles off. I just like to enjoy the
yes,
vibe.
Yeah. The COC better send me a commission for these.
Seriously,
I'm pushing everyone
no
out.
kidding. Cut this up, put it on Instagram.
I should.
Yeah, tag them. I'm at a basketball game. I'm talking about you guys.
Oh, Ilan Balde, wow. In your face, but the follow, who was that?
Oh, he's angry.
That was Desjardins with the follow.
It was a nice block.
See, Balde's, he's one of those dudes that he's just going to keep growing. He's going to get bigger.
Look at him. Look at his, he's long, man.
Yeah. He reminds me of a younger Moncrief in that he's that long, gangly, and then, every year I'd come up here, because Eme was here from a grade 9, and then you'd be like, oh, he's grown 4 inches, and another 4 inches, and then.
He's got the same kind of shoulders as him, those big, I could see it.
He doesn't, his hands aren't, Moncrief had these hands that could just pummel. It was almost like a baseball for him when he picked that ball up.
Yeah, I was coaching here when we had Moncrief for 1 year. Same year we had Addison Patterson, and that was some good talent, man.
Of course, Elijah Patterson here has been injured all year.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Hopefully, he's still young. He's got some hoops left in him.
BioSteel MVP last year, no?
As the futures, was it?
Yeah, futures, sorry.
Nosa Lawani, a little floater, pushes it to 72-22, 50-point ball game. Well, appreciate you joining me here for the second half. Yeah.
Any chance I can get to speak with you, buddy, I'll take it. 100%.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having me up here, man. How about yourself? You watching a lot of mid-majors and stuff?
Non-stop, every night,
yeah.
every night, non-stop. Well, last night I didn't go mid-major. I talked about it already. I watched Houston versus Iowa State.
Okay, nice. How was that game?
It's Houston's the best defensive college team I've seen in about 30 years.
Yeah.
It is.
Samson over there coaching, right?
It is swallowing. I talked about it. It was first. I mean, Iowa State was the number 6 team in the country last night. They held them to 4 points first 10 minutes of the game. Like you're just like you're not scoring.
Wow.
They were just just no move. There's 3 guys every time
Iowa
the ball
State's
hit.
pretty good right
And they're
now.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got like 4 or 5 losses. It's a top 10 team.
Jeez.
Yeah, it is. They are if I could curse, unbelievable.
Yeah.
But on the mid-major side, the Mountain West is where all the good mid-majors are this year. Mm-hmm. The Sun Belt's always got some teams because the Sun Belt, it's a bunch of teams with 24, 25-year-old guys. So it'll be men that get in that tournament that won't be phased going up against, the higher seed. Because I don't care. I'm on my 3rd college team. I've started 130 college games. It won't phase them in any way.
Well, it's cool that you mentioned the Sun Belt too, because Rashawn Ouellette was leading leading his team in scoring in the Sun Belt as a rookie. You said it's a very old conference too, so that's very impressive.
Until he got kicked off the team.
Kicked off a team, dismissed, whatever it is, that he's going to make it somewhere, and he's going to do just fine, I think. He's a heck of a player, man. I think you and I both agree on that.
Oh,
heck of a competitor, can do it all out there. I think he's going to be just fine.
We hope.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Want to see no young men blowing opportunities like that.
Yeah, no, he's good, man. He's really dang good.
So good ball movement from Orangeville. Henry, and the 3 is off. He's saying he got hit.
Good hustle.
When you see a shot that ugly, you got to think maybe he did. But alas, it was Desjardins. May back to Desjardins. Wide open. Oh,
Nice
corner
shot.
3, Nishan Singh. 75-22, all Fort Erie. One of the mid-majors, UNC Wilmington's been pretty good.
Yeah. Well, like you said, they got Shamar there, and his little brother Tyrus has an offer from there as well, so that'd be kind of cool to see if they ended up together. But I was going to ask you, get a bite to eat on the way home, or what do? You just head home, go to sleep?
Yeah, tonight just right. I usually do stop at Yonge and Highway 9.
Okay.
Oh, there's Olivier Desjardins. I usually go grab, there's a fat bastard burrito, which is fitting for me, and a Burger Priest right there, and I get the veggie burger sometimes. It's on one or the other.
Yeah. You're in the veggie life, eh?
Yeah, I ate before. I got an egg and cheese bagel over at the Country Style there at Highway 10, Highway 9.
That'll hold you over for a couple games, eh?
Yeah. But tonight, because it's so late, it's kind of like I just want to get the hell back to Pickering.
For sure.
There's not much around here to, you know what I mean? It's like
after 10 o'clock, not really.
Yeah, you got to drive into Aurora and Dingy. Yeah.
Nice.
So Henri Young, he's had a night.
So it's, how are you saying it? Say it again for me.
Henri.
I thought it was Henry.
No, they want the French pronunciation.
Henri,
I went and checked before.
I've
They said they call him Ray.
And
Nishan Singh. Well, that's what I said. Is it the English or French? He said it's the French way. So almost like, Henri Richard.
Yeah, nice. You're the master of pronunciation, man. I just skip over it or just mumble it.
I tell you, yeah. Well, especially the French Canadian, growing up playing hockey, you learn that. And then you even learn, because, a lot of guys who maybe are of, different, like Nigerian, Sudanese, which language they kind of speak. It's funny, I was in the hallway and listening to these guys. Half the team was speaking French to each other, Fort Erie.
Oh, yeah?
Like not even speaking English to each other.
You pick up on it, no problem, eh?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, well, I really appreciate you having me up here, Chris. Means a lot, man. Thank you so much for having me on the broadcast, dude.
Helped me out today, man.
Oh, no.
Of course, don't forget, 24.8, so go check out themapleminute.com and, of course, on Instagram and Twitter. You want to stay up to date, all the best scouting reports, any college teams out there, coaches watching. When you look at the live stream, you can't be in the gym. Well, go talk to Josh. He'll help you out.
Yeah, we got you.
Man, they're just going to dribble this one out. And so, don't even want to get this over. So now that they've done this, Orangeville better not try to take a shot here with 5 seconds left.
No kidding.
You got to return the classiness.
Yeah.
So what I try to do sometimes when I know it's going to be a good game before, when I go back and cut highlights, so I just do it by kind of write down, like, all right, bottom league 3, JC, Caden. So when I go back and cut the highlights, you kind of know. So I try to do it because obviously I want to pay attention to the game, just like something quick.
Time stamp it or no?
No, I don't have. I can't do that. I just do score. It's kind of general. That's about it.
I go to is film a little bit of a clip. If the kid does well, I'll take another clip in front of my hand. I'll take a picture of my hand so I know the clip before my hand was a good one. Because after these games, I have so many of them, right?
That's what it is, right?
Yeah. But thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Josh. Really appreciate it. Of course, 82-22 all Fort Erie. We'll be back Monday for some OSBA playoffs. Don't forget, tune in. Orangeville women and the men, 5:30 and 7:30, I believe.
Catch you there.